And
Here we go.
there we are. We are live.
Oh man.
We have a guest up here waiting already. How's everybody doing out there? We have chat going already. We got Mike Sampson. Sampy, he was in here. P City Smitty gave a thumbs up, probably in bed by now. Your boy Troy Catfishing, what is up? Brian B. There's Catfish Regulators. Regulators mount up. Ernie Brown, hello. Thanks for coming in. Country Boy, been out there doing a lot of lives, killing it. Of course, we got Avid, Jason Lamb, Lynn Leeper, been jumping on the live lately. Oh, it's just, oh man. See, right there, that's what you're just talking about, Mark.
Yeah, I hear the little, I hear it.
Yep, there it was. It just has live. Big Slim, Mike Irvin, Mark Clark. Hey, there's our good friend, Mr. Elston, Chunky Cats Fishing. Look who we have up on as guest tonight.
Oh man.
Uncle Josh is out there. Thomas Little Page, Fishing Chick. Awesome. Big Slim, Stan the Man. Well, thank you very much. I'm trying to be. We got 21 people in here already. Unbelievable.
Dang, that was quick.
Yeah, like you know how this community is.
Absolutely.
And especially when I announce somebody like the Fishing Magician going to be up on here.
Don't flatter me like that, man.
Come on now. Anybody that can put, it's hard enough to go out and catch big catfish on a semi-regular basis.
Absolutely.
But to be able to do it on lives like you do, there has to be some magic in it.
Maybe a little. I don't know. Mostly luck. Once you get like past the skill, it's only luck, you know.
We got more people up to 31. We got James Alba, Maurice, Mike Irvin, Sharina. Of course, we got Sharina in here. Always love seeing Sharina around. Say hello to Maurice again. Haslife, congratulations, Haslife, my brother. He's gonna have a lot of new friends. I'm sure you saw that the other day.
Oh yeah.
Haslife is now a proud boat owner, so we'll see how we'll see some things from that. We got my brother Skin and Scales Fishing up in here. Mike McClements. Hey, there's Little Smith, Maddie May, my granddaughter. Hey, baby girl, how are you? Got to have Little Smith on the show. There's Rick Gloria. Crazy. Okay. So, Mr. Duggar, LG Bass, Catfish Heroes in the house. All right. So, most of y'all know, I'm sure, we got our guest up on here tonight, Fishing Magician. Fishes out of DC area. Now you're not from that area, is that correct?
I'm not, no.
And you started your fishing in a different part of the country, I believe.
Yes. I'm originally from California, and I've been fishing seriously out there probably since I was like 11 or 12. On and off all my life, but I didn't really start taking it too seriously till I was like 11 or 12. But yeah, once I got to that point, it was all salmon, striper, sturgeon, shark, stingray, all kinds of stuff like that. Biggest catfish I ever caught at that time, maybe like, I don't know, a pound. So I got here, it all changed when I got here, obviously. It all changed.
Well, coming from West Coast, you're both West and East Coast, so you're around saltwater both times.
Right.
But in California, was that predominantly, did you do saltwater?
There was a better balance of both because where I lived is like 45 minutes pretty much each way. You could either drive like 2 hours to the mountains, or you could drive like 45 minutes to the bay, or you could drive like 30 minutes to the sloughs. Like it was so much more diverse than it is here, I think. Because here it's like Potomac River is like blue cats, and that's pretty much it. Scattered bass and stuff like that. But the Chesapeake, I really haven't done too much fishing in the Chesapeake, but there's really not too many bank access spots for like good fishing, I would say. So Potomac pretty much just took the rule over here.
And we got a bunch more people coming in. Kentucky Catman, thank you. Lynn Leeper, Rex Blocker. Got my 1 Ton Fishing Club, our Virginia brothers out there. Okay. And so you came out, and what brought you out to the East Coast?
That would be the Air Force. Been stationed
Thank
here
you.
for like 2.5 years.
Thank you very much for your service. We all appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for yours. You were also a member. I'm not gonna let you get by. I'm not gonna let you
Air
skip
Force,
by that
right?
one.
Air Force, we got to stick together because we get a lot of that. We're not the real service kind of.
Chair
You know,
Force, yeah, all that garbage. Heard it
isn't
plenty
it
of
funny?
times.
It's funny how though when you can joke around about it with other, but if as soon as somebody else like when I was in anyhow, it was back a long time ago. Like Marines, Army, you would all joke around,
Yep.
but if somebody else said something about it that like non-military whatnot, they would be the first to defend you. So it was
right, yeah.
it was all good, but
Absolutely.
let's see. Okay, so you got out here in the service, and did you go right to catfishing right away, or was there somebody that got you into that, or how did that go?
So yeah, there was someone that got me into it. He's not really too active on YouTube anymore. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. His name is TheFishinMagician2.0. And I had just been doing my research because I had my orders in Japan, and I was just like looking up the areas, like where I'm going to go next and stuff. And I reached out to this guy that had a YouTube, and I was like, hey man, like I'm about to be new to the area. Is there anything like you can, I mean, not asking for spots, but just like a gist of like, what to do. Because I've done plenty of West Coast fishing, but I know like pretty much everywhere you go is a different world, So I asked him for some tips. He gave me some tips, and then he invited me out one time, and then we used to fish together all the time. And he actually moved up north like last year, and I haven't talked to him in a while, but he pretty much gave me like the baseline for fishing the Potomac before I started venturing out and finding like my own spots and like my own areas and stuff like that.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We'll get to that in 1 second. Ricky Gloria had a question. Do y'all get a free fishing and hunting license out there? Active duty or veteran does not. If you're a disabled vet, you get I don't know if it's free or a discounted. I believe it's
probably discounted.
But you can get in Virginia, if you're disabled, even just a disabled resident, you can get a lifetime fishing, small game, and saltwater. It's $15 for each one in Virginia.
Oh my gosh, that's super cheap.
You're disabled, so. But so I believe disabled veteran, I believe it's free. It's covered the rest of your life. But and James Arba, thank you for your service. Marines, hoorah. Okay. So now we were talking about spots. He gave you some tips and things like that. I'm sure a lot of people have questions. See you pulling in the big ones.
Yeah.
I'm in the. I don't want to know somebody's spot. What I want to know is how do they find it? What do they look for? Are you looking for water depth? Are you looking for cover? Are you looking? Where do you find them? That type of stuff.
That's a good question. And I don't know. I think at first I wasn't really too cognizant of like, I don't know, maybe everything that's under the water. Like I didn't really look too much at the depth in the beginning when I first got here. But after a while, I kind of started looking for like, because the way the Potomac is, it's just like a deep channel. And then there's just like a bunch of shallow flats like around it. And then there's like the narrow section that'll go up past DC. That's pretty much all like a deep channel. And yeah, basically I would just look on Google Maps and just try to find maybe like the deeper spots from the bank. And if I had to walk like maybe a little further to get there, I would, just because I knew more than likely there wasn't going to be anybody over there. So I make a journey. Most of the time when you guys see me streaming, you don't see the half-mile walk up a cliff that I do to get to the spot. So if I'm not in DC, that's where I'm at. I'm hiking around trying to find some deep water.
We do see you in some different spots. That is, I got to give you credit on that. And do you think a lot of that has to do? I have that kind of similar thing here in Richmond. It's a populated area.
Yeah.
There's not there's limited bank spots, and there's even more limited good bank spots. If you're, we're venturing out in the boats here and there, but
Yep.
primarily we're a bank fisherman. So, first of all, I find spots that I can go to
Right.
publicly and, without getting arrested and,
Exactly. Yeah, that's tough too. That is tough too. Yeah.
things like that. Now, was that different West Coast to East Coast for you?
Yes, it was extremely different. So on the West Coast, in my experience at least, all the good spots that everybody knows about are the good spots that are like always good. Like it's hard to get spots that are like heavily like here. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It's
Like
all right.
you say one spot and like everybody fishes there and it's not good anymore. Like it's overfished. Like
Yes.
it's really difficult to overfish a spot over there because of the way like the tide system works. I don't know why, but there's always like new fish coming in and out of there to catch in the delta and stuff like that. Same thing with the bay, because like when the tide comes in from the bay, there's a bunch of new fish coming in from the ocean. And then when the tide goes out, they all come out. And more than likely, it's going to be different fish coming by every time. So yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to find spots in the West. And I was not really tentative to water depth or anything, cover or anything at all on the West Coast. So it kind of tested me when I got here, just looking for new spots, looking for like, I don't know, something different than just pulling up on the bank and fishing.
That's excellent. We're up to 51, 52 people. We got
Wow, we made
Kevin
it.
Palmetto Cats is in. Mr. Duggar, how you doing? Mr. Duggar Fishing. I love the way he puts Feees.
Mr. Duggar, man.
Stephen Corley, how you doing, my friend? Thank you. Glad to have you in. Angel Honeycutt from it's Angel Honeycutt, the husband and wife team from St. Louis. We're glad to have you in here. Love when you and your husband come in. Thank you so much. Fishing with Big Mike. Big Mike, feel free to email me or whatnot. We can work something out with that. Mad Catter, thank you for coming in. Yeah, again, we're going back to what we were talking about before, and I don't know why mine clicks. I don't know if it's because I'm just old and I got the big fingers and I'm
Could be why, yeah.
I don't hear that on anybody else's, but I try to do it as gentle as I possibly can.
Oh man.
Bunch of people, awesome. So now how hard was it for you to switch from because like I said, to catch, just to even take YouTube and cameras and all that out of there,
Right.
It's hard to just go out and catch catfish, especially decent catfish,
Yes.
on a regular day after day basis.
Yes.
But to be able to do that on a live, especially when that's not like the fish that you've been after all your life,
Right.
that's true credit to you. That's awesome the way you can do that. I don't know, you say just luck, but there had to be, I mean, was it watching other YouTubers? Was it, where did this, how hard was it going from, you were primarily saltwater, you're catching sharks and this and that out there. Now you come to this area and you're like the catfish talker,
Yeah.
Like how hard of a switch, what did you go through? What were you looking at for people that maybe are trying to do that themselves a little bit, that
Right.
are going out time after time and not finding catfish? I mean, Is there anything that you can think of?
Yes, absolutely. So initially, yeah, it was YouTube. I did my YouTube research before I got here. So I had kind of a baseline of like where to go off of just to catch fish. So probably the first year or so I was here, I was just going to spots that looked good on a map. And I knew that people had caught fish there before. And, I'd catch. And then I got to the point where after doing that for so long, I was like, I'm kind of ready for like some bigger fish now, because, I can catch small blues all day at this point. And really, it's just trial and error. Like there's been many, many days where I've hiked, I don't know, a mile plus on the bank and I've caught nothing. And I just did it so much. And I was so consistent almost every single day off. Luckily for me, I was able to get out there and multiple days back to back and just explored just get out there and do it. That's really the only way to find those spots. Everybody's like, is there a magic trick? It's like, no, just go find them. Like there's plenty of spots out there. You gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the work, see what's happening and what's not happening.
I totally agree. We're gonna get back to that in just a second. We got more people coming in. We got Betty, a couple crosses fishing. Betty, thank you so much for coming over. I really appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate what you do out there every day, taking care of on our front lines. Thank you so much. Game time is in. Of course, One Ton Fishing Club. There's Art. We got Art and Josh both in here. Lynn Leaper. Okay, I think I caught up on everybody there. So, Mr. T-Bone, hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Lee Reed, I saw you before. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your good comments. In doing these things, I've been talking with a lot of people lately, and a lot of people that catch a lot of big fish, and especially catfish.
Right.
And the common thing, what you just said, what Epic has said, what Paula Smith has said, what anybody that's successful in consistently catching these fish is you get some knowledge, you get a basic starting point, and time on the water.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Even if you just break it down, I was always captain the math team in high school, so math has always been my thing.
I hate math so much.
Yeah, so I'm the math guy. So even if you just a simple equation, X for the amount of time you spend on the water, gives you more chances. Obviously, you have more chance to catch more fish. Right. It's just simple. It's simple math, but I mean, there's more.
Yeah.
I love Epic. Epic is like the scientist with it, and he's got formulas for things with current and depth and cover, and different variables with things. But it all breaks down to you take that information and time on the water. And everybody that I talk to that consistently can catch fish, it's been the time on the water. And that doesn't mean that you got to go out every day.
Exactly.
But if you can go out, don't worry about the barometric pressure, this to that. That's all fun. It's fun to talk about. Right. And, does it make fishing better? Where, you can keep the logs and all that. But if you can go out, you go fishing.
Yep.
That's the best time to go.
Absolutely agree.
So we got Jason Lamb in, Kevin Wallace. Thank you for coming in. Skin and Scales was out there sharing the links. Thank you. Thank you. Texas Tiger. Okay, so what would be your best advice for somebody just trying to get into fishing? Even some viewers out there, some people that watch us, some subs, they fish every now and then. They may have fished for other things, but not really for catfish or for that person that's trying to get from that I go every once in a while to that next thing. Do you have any advice? Or
man, that's a good question, actually.
I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. It's okay if you don't have an answer, that's all right.
I have an answer.
Awesome.
So for someone that's just like a casual fisherman to like a serious fisherman.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? That's what you're asking?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh man. I don't know. I think it's different for everyone. So for me personally, when I was really little, my dad took me to this spot, and I caught like a bunch of bluegill and bass and stuff like that. And like fishing was cool to me, but it wasn't something that I wanted to like continually do.
Yeah.
But once I caught my first leopard shark, that was kind of like the moment for me where I was like, all right, like I want to do this like full time, or like I want to do this all the time. And I think it's different for everyone, because I've heard people tell me like, oh yeah, I caught my first fish and now I'm hooked and stuff like that. I caught my first big fish and now I'm hooked. So I think it's just different for everyone. Everyone has to get that special moment for themselves, and they're like, wow, I want to do this like more.
I can personally totally 100% agree with that. Yes, once you get that, once you get that like Mine has been kind of progressing back again. Like
Yeah.
I've had, everybody knows I got some issues and whatnot, but fished all my life and caught big fish and this and that, and then kind of got away from it a little bit, and then found everybody on YouTube and kind of get back into it. And then it was just, at first it was just, okay, I'm out. This is great. I'm just out. Then
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I'm catching fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I caught a 20 pound. All right, now I get
Right.
and it just kind of every week it's like another thing. And here's going back. James said, I've seen Mark out there so cold he was almost blue. He's awful
Oh,
dedicated.
man.
And yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah, it's cold out there. It's definitely cold out there for sure.
Now, is that a difference from where you were at out in California also? Were you in the southern? Was it a little bit more easier climate than here?
It definitely was easier. So humidity, it's not humid at all over there. And I hadn't really experienced that until I got to Texas for basic, and then Japan when I was stationed at last. And I can't stand humidity. So I definitely like the weather over there more. But the coldness, it gets way colder here than it does there. I think the coldest mornings we had over there were like maybe 20s with a small wind chill. I mean, it was cold, but here it just happens like way more often that it's like there's some cold nights or cold mornings.
SF Outdoors, he's another angler from Virginia here. Thank you so much. Avid fisherman. Allow me to. Gamal says, I fish in all weather, but I'm lucky my spots allow me to pull my truck right up to my rods. So I can sit in the truck until the rods bend over.
Lucky man right there.
Yeah, if you can find those spots. Ricky Gloria said, Mark, did you make your drawing into a shirt or do you plan to?
I did make it into a shirt. Shout out to Ricky once again for that amazing poster. It's sitting right here in my living room. And yeah, we have it on some shirts and some hoodies. If you go to my channel and go to the community tab, I should have it posted there if you're interested.
I gotta post this up. Palmetto Cats always gotta throw a little
healthy snacks. Oh man.
Well, that's since he brought up the healthy snack thing, there's something that I'm sure a lot of people or some people may not know about you. Is that something that you have? We see you eating a lot of healthy snacks. Is that something that just is that like you just like healthy snacks, or is it something that you?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, they get old sometimes, but I try to eat as good as I can sometimes. I mean, I definitely have my moments where I, binge and eat my bad food, but I don't know. I try to stay in decent shape. So that's pretty much.
Palmetto Cats. How many animals have you had to fight off your bait?
Oh my gosh, too many rats, too many raccoons.
I've got to admit that I was thinking that fishing like downtown Richmond and stuff like that, but I haven't had that issue. I've seen you've had it the animals on your things. DMV Whiskey King, Baltimore Angler has just the other day had the raccoons.
Yep. They're
going to get it's crazy. They are just bold up there in that feet area.
I think people feed them. I think that's why.
There's a good question.
Oh man,
Doug Fishing, how does it feel to be in the 50+ club?
Feels great. I've been grinding for like a year and a half to get that fish, so I'm very, very happy. Very happy to get that one.
Was there something that you did? Was it just you just kept going out? Did you try changing your tactics to go for bigger fish? Was there? Do you think there's something that you did, or did it just you put your time in? You had the same things out there, or was it something that you changed and kept changing until you got up to that big fish?
Ooh, I think at the beginning I changed kind of like maybe a year ago, just to make sure that I had everything ready for the big fish, I guess you could say. Because like before I got here, I didn't really fish with like heavier rods or anything unless I needed to. So I was like,
Yeah, yes.
more like of a finesse fisherman. And when I got here, I just made sure that I had the big hooks, the right leaders, the right size weights and everything. I really made sure that everything was like dialed in. So when the big fish did bite, when I did put in the time and eventually got to that fish, I knew that I would have nothing to worry about because I had, everything figured out before. So kind of both of that.
That is an awesome answer. And that again, that kind of goes back to that question that I was asking you before about going from a casual fisherman to somebody that's got that bug to catch that that next level.
Yep.
It's like I can totally understand that. When we came down from upstate New York, and we fished a lot of pike and largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, trout, all that kind of stuff. I've caught some, 15, 16-pound channel cats, and we didn't have a lot of blues where I was at, but we caught some big channel cats and things like that, and a bunch of bullheads and whatever, all that type of fish. So when we first came down here, I really didn't know the potential that the James has, like the Potomac. And, I was going out there with just regular little, maybe 15-pound test and little 1/0 J hooks and whatnot.
That was me. That was
me. Because I'm thinking I'm just catching, channel cats and whatnot. I had no idea about the size of the blues and the potential of the river. And then we kind of, go from there. You go, oh, well, I'll do the 4/0, and you think that that's a big hook. Until you start catching, you start catching some 20-pounders and higher, and you see that mouth that could, a 20-pounder, you can put your hand in it. So, a 10/0 or 12/0 hook is nothing for a 30, 40-pound. I've caught, we've caught a couple pounders on a 10/0 hook. And
exactly. Yeah, that was crazy to me too. I'm totally in agreement with that. It was the same way for me.
But I think that's one of those, going back to that question about going up to that next levels is know what you're going after. And just keep moving yourself. If that's what you're looking to do, move your gear up to the level of the fish that are in the place you're fishing. Now, if 10-pound channel cats or bass or whatever you're fishing, if that's what is the biggest in the waters you're fishing, well, then keep your gear for that. Keep your gear for the area that you're fishing, because that's how you're going to have the most fun and the most enjoyment out of it. If you're using medium heavy or heavy with 40-pound test and main line and 50-pound leaders, and you're catching an 8-pound fish, it's like it's not much fun. But you do that on a medium rod with 12, 15-pound test, and that's a monster. That's
exactly.
So I think it's I think that's kind of relative to wherever you're at in the country, whatever waters you fish, whatever you're.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's Sharp Fishing TV. What's up, guys? My two favorites. I saw Sharp. I first saw him as a moderator on your channel. Sharp Fishing TV.
Oh, Sharp.
Sharps, yeah.
Harrison.
Yes. And young man learned most of his fishing. He had a couple family members that aren't around in his area. I think his grandfather and his uncle, he told me, that don't live around him. So he's learned a lot of his fishing from sources like what we said, YouTube, like us.
Yeah, like us, yeah.
And awesome young man. Y'all check out Sharp's Fishing TV.
Absolutely.
He's puts out he does put out some good videos, and once he gets that driver's license, he can get to some different spots. And
I was the same way. I was like, when I get my license, I'm going fishing every weekend.
Yeah, that's appreciate you being in. And he does. You see him in a lot of everybody's lives, and support out there. So we appreciate you being out there, Sharp. Thank you so much.
A big supporter. Sorry if I'm fidgeting, guys. I just sprained my toe so bad, and I keep readjusting the ice, and I'm wincing in pain every now and then. That's the reason I'm doing that.
That's it's for people that don't aren't up doing this kind of things, and you're doing the lives or even out fishing on the live. That was hard for me, and I still have moments where the more I do it, especially now, like in the beginning, every second was like,
right, yeah,
God, there's the camera.
yeah,
But the more you do it, and like Stan 3 and I go out fishing live every Sunday morning, and so you get used, you get more familiar with it and stuff, and sometimes you forget that the camera is there.
Yeah.
Have you had that? Have you experienced that with lives yet?
Oh, I've zoned out a few times where I just kind of like take a rest in my chair, and I'll be like waiting for a bite, kind of like relaxing, just be like looking around at all the scenery. And then I'm like, oh wait, there's people watching me. People are talking to me, and then I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, what's up, guys? And then I'll scroll and say what's up to everybody after that. Definitely happened to me a few times for sure.
I got to admit, that is the one benefit with Stan 3 and I going out fishing together. He does a lot of the, casting out the rods and doing all that stuff, and I kind of do a lot of this. But he's been doing a great job going out. He was out the other day with Dan from Green Machine Outdoors.
Yeah, I saw that.
Out in the kayaks, so he's getting more comfortable with that kind of stuff. But here's a good question from Palmetto Cats for you. Or we can say no comment on that if you'd like, but
Is Mark nervous for the Catfish Conference? I am not. I'm really, really excited. I'm really excited for the Catfish Conference. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it on that one. I haven't really rehearsed anything I'm going to say. I'm kind of just going to wing it, so we'll see how it goes.
That's one thing I've noticed for people that are doing the YouTube thing. You've got two different techniques. I'm kind of like you. I'll have a base idea. I want to have a base idea. I don't want to have a script of what I'm going to say because I'm not that person.
Same.
I want to have a base idea. Like we talked for a couple minutes before this.
Maybe a minute. Yeah.
Boom. We're going to do this. Question. Go to this. Any question? That's my kind of thing. That's how even when I've I managed restaurants for 20 years. I've done, public speaking and things like that. And I've never ever had a speech. I've had bullet points.
Yeah.
I've had bullet points to keep, from one idea to the next. But then there is some people that like to know, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
So just whatever you're more comfortable with, that's what you want to use.
Right.
But I mean, it's kind of hard in live fishing though to kind of have a script.
Script it, yeah, for 4 hours. I'm gonna say different.
How hard was it for you to do? Was it a hard thing for you to start doing lives where you're? Well, we've got some awesome people out there. Palmetto's awesome at it. Elston, DMV. There's a bunch of people that are just like flawless.
Right.
It goes right down. Was that hard for you to pick that up, or was that something you were comfortable with?
I was pretty comfortable with it. And I remember the first day I actually went live, I was fishing and I was so bored. And I was like, I wish people could see that I'm actually like trying to make videos for them. So I was like, I'm going to go live, see what happens. And I think I had like maybe 6 or 8 people in there. But I mean, it was fun. I liked talking and I liked like hearing the feedback from everybody. And I was like, wow, this is like kind of cool. So I just, kept doing it and doing it. And then I was talking back and forth with Elston, and he was like kind of giving me tips on like what people want to see. Like people want to see the rods. So, focus your camera on the rods, and at night, like here's some like reflective tape you could use to like help you with your rods. So shout out to Elston. I think he's in here. And guys, I can see the chat. I just don't want to interrupt him while he's scrolling through the chat. But yeah, shout out to Elston for helping me out with that at the very beginning. Just kind of getting everything together, so I had a decent show for people to watch.
Yeah, I think a lot of us owe a lot to, especially the ones that are doing our bank lives.
Yep.
If you look at every one of us, we all have a little bit of something from him.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Elston. We really appreciate that.
He started it. Yeah, he definitely started it for sure.
And you've got some other one, DMV Whisker King. He's got his own kind of. Bam, he's out there in the middle of nowhere and doing his thing, and the effort that he puts in, like you were saying, you'll hike this and do that. The dude's riding the bike to the spot and
he's
hardcore,
yeah.
you know, and that's you know, there's people ahead of us, so it makes it a lot. We kind of got an example, and we all kind of try to add or do our little thing with it, but that, you know, just amazing. So Elston, thank you very much.
Absolutely, shout out to him.
Oh, Snake River Catfish Slayer, thank you for coming in. We're still up to 44 people. And I have a problem. I don't know if you have this issue. All right, go ahead. I see you laughing.
I was reading the chat. I was reading the money, eelhead.
Well, that's funny. I was just going to bring something like that up. We kind of talked about this a little bit before in that minute that we were talking. As you can see, as everybody can see, I'm a little old, so it's hard for me to read and follow, so I missed some things. And then especially when I'm talking with somebody that I consider like a friend, it's like I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the screen, and this chat is important, but it's like I'm one of those face-to-face talking kind of people.
Yeah.
So I miss things out there in chat and the money, all those things. That's we all just.
Oh man.
That's just that energy. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you very much, James. I appreciate that. I ain't old. Let's see. Where was I going before? Oh, Sunfish Assassin. We all appreciate that. Thank you so much. To touch my finger. That was just brilliant in the you know, and it was just in the moment of the that night with the knee and I'm not getting up for. You could just see it was just perfect.
It was, yeah.
All right, I'm not getting up till it touches my finger, and then bam, and sure enough, bang, and he's gone.
Yeah, he's quick. He's quick when he gets up to grab the rods.
Oh my goodness, Uncle Josh with the bank fishing lives matter.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Mike Costello, another one. Mike Costello started. His channel's growing now. He was the same thing. He was going out there day after day doing the lives, and there would be, you know, a few people in there, and the next time there's a few more and a few more. Palmetto Cats, what I like best about Mark's show is that he tries super hard not to miss a single comment. He reads all of them and is sensitive to every comment. Very fun to watch. Yes, and I totally agree with that. That's one thing that you do. That's one thing that you do very well. Even the one night, it was a few weeks ago maybe. The fishing wasn't great. It was getting cold.
Yeah.
And boxing came out. And
oh yeah.
Like 3/4 of the chat was going about boxing.
Yeah,
so, okay.
boxing.
It went to boxing. So hey, if the fishing's not there, it either goes to food or sports, right?
That's right. Food or sports. Yeah.
And I really love another thing that I told you when I first came over. I don't even remember how I got to your channel, but you know, it was just positive. Like, bam, you were in there, and it was just had that positive. You know, you were positive. You wouldn't. The chat was positive. It's just got that positive.
Yeah.
And it's you know, that's addicting. So we all appreciate that. Was that something? Is that your typical personality? Are you that kind of positive person in real life, or is it like you feel like I'll go for myself when I'm on. I feel like even when I go live fishing, it's like, okay, I feel this extra. I don't want to say pressure, but like a responsibility, whatnot. Okay, I got to put fish on, or this has to be entertaining. There has to be like. Do you feel that same thing?
Yeah. So there's definitely some times where I'm like, I'm stressing out. I'm like, I need to catch some fish. But then like when people are in the chat and they're like, like just you being out there is like enough for me and stuff like that does mean a lot. And I am like, this is like me in person. Like if I were to meet you in person and shake your hand, it would be the exact same thing. I'm not putting on a facade. Like I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. I mean, my wife is laying on the bed right now and she's probably agreeing with me, but she said she agrees, but it's just who I am. I try to stay in a good mood, and being live and fishing, that just kind of boosts my mood like even more. So I'm already like super excited to be out there. And then the fact that I get to share it with everybody that watches on the screen is just even more fun to me. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's a great answer. There, Mrs. Skin and Scales. Hey everyone, thank you, Mrs. for coming in. We do, because snacks are very important. That's usually a top topic.
Yes.
One ton. They've got the some of the best shore food that you can get.
Absolutely.
Evan. Yes. Mark has learned that it's not really about the fish. It's about the relationships and the interaction with the people who are living vicariously through you. Very smart.
That's right. Absolutely.
Hey, and that's that's why we all love Palmetto. He's got that entertainment in him, and just finding those little things in people. He jokes with you about the smart things. So
yeah.
But that was hard for me at first too, because I feel when I'm in somebody else's chat or I'm watching somebody else's live, I feel that way. It's not about the fish. It's but then when I'm on my own live, it's like, okay, we got to put a fish on here.
Yes, exactly. Same.
Okay, good. I'm not alone with that. Then you feel the same way.
Yep.
Let's see. James Alba was out fishing a couple weeks ago with Chris Flores.
Oh yeah,
he liked his knots.
Saw that one.
I was lucky enough to. Palmetto, same thing. He says it feels the exact opposite when you're the one doing the live.
Exactly, I completely agree.
And you hear everybody saying it has, and Elston, he's like, nobody wants to see me. They want to see the fish. We got to put the fish. We need the takedown.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. So we have any other questions out there? Oh, MindofHarris, thank you for coming in. MindofHarris, hey guys, Mark's the best towards his supporters and showing that their comments are important. #1 in my book. I would agree with that. You doing that was one of the things that I wanted to say to you tonight, that that's one thing that I think, like I said, once I got there, you were positive, and then that comment right there, that you didn't seem to miss a single person. Not one. That I can personally attest, that's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not.
So how do you, when you're worrying about catching those 50s and big catfish, and that at the same time, like how do you manage to do that? Is there a trick, or you can multitask?
I'm pretty good at multitasking, but like in my head, once I have baits in the water and they're in the right spot, like the work for that is done. I just have to keep my eyes on the screen at this point. So like while I'm already looking at the screen, I might as well thank everybody for coming in. So that is important to me. Like that everybody that comes in, I want to make them feel welcome and special, because they are. Like, it's not like, and I know some people, it's hard to keep up with the chat. So sometimes I'm like scrolling back, and by the time I catch up, it's like still going. So it's just, I try my best to congratulate and thank everyone for being in there.
Yeah, you do an awesome job of it. Dragonfire says he's a speed reader.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Like it's a bit much sometimes, but I try to get everybody.
I don't see him tonight. I know I'm trying. That's just exactly what we were just talking
Yeah,
about.
we were just talking about that.
And you know, Has knows that when you're doing StreamYard, you can see about 2 comments at a time.
Right.
So if you get 50 people in and everybody's making a comment,
Yep.
there's times where it just there'll be like 7, 8 comments that come in at once.
Yeah.
And it just goes up. I can see 2 on my screen. There's 3.
Man.
See, well, there we go. There's Chris right there. I was thank you very much, Mr. Chris Flores, for coming in. And that's what we were. But I was lucky enough a couple months ago with Tim Molina was out fishing with Chris Flores, and my son and I were fishing on the James, and we kind of had our live on each one, and Tim and I were kind of going at our thing, and we jumped out. We were in the early lead, but then Tim, he was on fire. He was on fire. I think he was giving Chris a couple of spots to go to.
Yeah.
But that Mr. Molina, he's sneaky. He was out there and he did a great job at the end and pulled that one out.
I remember
But that was a lot of fun. Just it was like wow, that's all. I mean, to me that it's crazy that we all know that I'm old school and we've talked about that already.
Right.
But to be able to, here I am on the James River.
Uh-huh.
Fishing on the James River on the East Coast with my son, and there's Tim Molina out there with Chris Flores.
Yeah.
And we're back and forth on checking in with who's doing what and catching what, and it was just like this is unbelievable. I can't believe that we can do this kind of thing now. This is just mind blowing.
Yep, that's right. Completely agree.
It's much easier than the big fingers. Oh my goodness. I'm out. So we have any that's next in line, Josh. That's next in line. Unfortunately, I still do every single thing through my phone.
Same.
There's a question from your good friend Haslife out there.
Oh, man. About the time I went swimming in January. So it was last year, like a month ago. And I was fishing with him. We were fishing a deep spot. You've probably seen me out there. It's a deeper spot on the upper Potomac. And we had just got there. And I had my rod in the water. And we hiked both the stuff down, and he forgot something at the car. So he walked back up the trail. And of course, right when he walks away, I get a bite. And I hooked this fish. And at the time, it was my personal best. And it was 36 pounds. So I'm like fighting it. And it's getting close to the shore. And I was trying to maneuver it so it was in an easier spot to grab. And while doing that, I was trying to pull it to the right. And then my line just pops like immediately. And without even like thinking that it was going to snow that night, without even thinking it was like 30 degrees outside, I just like sprinted towards the water, jumped in and grabbed him with both hands and pulled him out of the water. And I couldn't believe that I did that. Oh man, good times. Got it all on video though. So.
Hey, that once you get into YouTube, isn't that what it's all about? As long as it's caught on video.
That's my clickbait title and everything, right?
It was like in the Whisker Bowl the other day. We were fishing on almost level ground.
Uh-huh.
I had the chair there, and I went to go like this to lean to look at the other pole because it was kind of off around the corner. And when I did that, and it's on a dirt riverbank, and that first I almost went like this, and I would have went just so. Half of me seeing my life flash in front of my eyes. The other half of me is like, man, I just hope this is on camera because that's gonna be funny.
Yeah. Exactly.
So here we go back to me missing a lot of things. Fishing Chick had a question. What tips do you have for someone to knock out their first fishing video?
Ooh, that's a great question. Number one, make sure you can catch fish because you don't want to leave a bad impression on people initially. So make sure that you go somewhere you know you can catch fish. Number two, be yourself because if you put on a facade and you try to be someone that you're not, people are either going to see right through it or it's going to kick you. You're going to kick yourself in the end for doing that. So be yourself, have fun with it. That's pretty much it. Just be yourself. Make sure you can provide that kind of content to people that's watchable, and just have fun with it. Don't force anything. Just go right off the dome. I know sometimes it's kind of difficult starting out speaking in front of the camera and stuff, but just try to be as natural as you can. Just have fun with it.
Fishing Chick, I got just a couple quick things for you. For those that have not talked in front of a camera, in front of other people before, do it. Just do a quick thing, like just on a camera, just on the video, not on live or anything like that. Just do that, just to get used to talking to your phone. Because in the beginning, you do feel funny, like talking to a camera or your phone.
Yep.
So do it when it doesn't matter. Just whatever, talk about, hey, this is my fishing reel. I'm gonna do this, and we got this for bait, and you just do that a few times. And exactly like Mark said, the biggest thing is be yourself, and just do it. If you want to put a video out, and the first one you want to put out, just to get yourself going, just say, hey guys, I'm starting my channel. This is what I'm focusing on. I've got these rods. This is what I'm looking to do. Just put out a short little video that's what you're going to do.
Yep.
And then follow that up with, like Mark said, then do it. Don't do that. And then, 3 months later, put out your next
and then
video.
post something. Yeah.
Do that. Get your foot in the water. Just do it, because it took me a while to get started, because I was like, I've never really been much for photography and that stuff, and
right. Me neither.
Taking videos, and I'm not Lorianne and some of these other people. They're just so talented with that.
Right.
So it's like, oh, that's not good enough, or this isn't. And it's like a month and a half goes by where I'm saying, I'm putting out my video I'm putting it out next week. Oh, it'll be next. Just put it out, and people are going to tell you. Most people will understand it's your first video, and they're going to they'll give you some tips and talk about food. That's always a start.
Yeah.
And Serena says another one. If you don't catch fish, don't let it get you in a slump. Keep on keeping on. Yeah. That is exactly right. Mark loves going live with hundreds of people walking past him, looking at him talking to the phone.
It's busy out there in DC. You learn to talk in front of a camera real quick. That's for sure.
About to eat and work on vids. Okay, your boy Troy. We'll see you later. Thank you so much. Still got 44 people in here. Thank you so much. If you liked what we were doing tonight, if you could please hit the thumbs up, that would be awesome. Sunfish Assassin says 2-pound sunfish are coming live this spring.
Oh man, that's gonna be exciting.
Let's see. Going back to some of the ones that I've missed here. Do any of you guys target channel cats during the spawn when they are shallow in the rocks? It's fun on bass gear.
I personally don't target them. No, not really too much. Just doing like the blues. Every now and then, actually every year I'll fish for them, but not near the rocks. More like the flooded creeks. I like catching them in the flooded creeks.
Uncle Josh, what are your favorite healthy and unhealthy snacks?
Oh man, favorite healthy snack. You guys always see me with the PB and jam. PB and jam, and probably the fiber bar is the next one, and then protein shake. Unhealthy, I love chips. I love hot Cheetos. I actually have a bag sitting on the table in front of me right now that I'm not going to eat until tomorrow.
I need to have a little bit more of that willpower in me.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes. They're just looking at me all day.
Here's another one. Can we look forward to seeing some live catfish action from the kayak this summer?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes, I'm working on a little stand right now. Just kind of thinking of ideas in my head how to set it up. And yeah, definitely I will be out there in my kayak again as the weather heats up, for sure. Excited about that one too. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, the kayak just seems to be, watching Stand 3 out there the other day with Green Machine in the kayaks, and
Yeah.
Green Machine it managed to land a 40-something incher. I don't think they ever got a weight on it.
Oh.
But huge fish. I know Stand 3's just describing some of you get that in the kayak and you get a 40, 50-pound fish dragging you around. That's that's got to be just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good well, first of all, Fishing Chick said, awesome, good advice. Thank you very much. Fishing Chick, I totally apologize for I'm getting better. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm still kind of new at this, so I thank you all for coming in. I appreciate everybody. 47 people after an hour. I can't thank you all enough. We really appreciate the support and the questions. Y'all are doing awesome, and if I could keep up with it, we'd be even more awesome. But here's Palmetto Cats. Are you going to suspend from the kayak, drag baits, anchor, or all three?
Ooh, so I haven't really done any dragging type fishing. I don't have a pedal drive, so it'd kind of be a little difficult to do dragging in that kayak, but I've definitely anchored up and I've definitely suspended, and I'll probably be doing all three because I'm looking to invest in a pedal drive here sometime soon, and that would just make it so much easier to drag. So probably that, just so I won't have to paddle up, the miles or however long I drifted. So all three, hopefully.
Oh, there's my brother Creole catfishing in here. Guess we had some troll action going on out there.
Oh, man.
And that's the other thing. When you're doing StreamYard, I don't know how it is when you're streaming through YouTube.
Uh-huh.
When you're doing StreamYard, especially when you're as slow as I am at the chat, you can't see that's why it's important to have good moderators, because they'll take it out. I never see it. And all of a sudden, somebody will say, "Oh, you had trolls tonight," and I'm like,
"Yeah,
I didn't see anything." Yeah. I did for the first time last Friday. But the dragon, that's something that I'd like to do more this year.
Yeah.
You can even drag with the proper, dragon weights and whatnot. You can even drag from the bank in certain. That's what I'd like to. We're venturing more out. We're getting Stand 3's got the boat with the motor going a little bit. It's just a little John boat, which is tough for me to fish out of. So sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. But definitely, boat has the advantage with extra techniques, going to multiple spots, et cetera, et cetera. But there is techniques that you can do from the boat. From the bank that the boat uses. Dragging, I'd like to try. There's some spots in the James that has enough current where you could actually use the what do you call it? The boards, the planer boards.
Yeah.
That's something I'd like to try from the bank to get it out and let it go further downstream and keep it out at so there's things that I'd like to try from the bank that come from the boat fishermen. So that's why, even being bank fishermen, when you see these shows and or even the videos, when you're watching boat fishermen, you can still learn. It's the same fish that we're after. The same techniques will basically work. You're going to have to adapt it a little bit. But, yeah,
I agree. Absolutely.
Awesome. Mark, can you tell us about... Oh, there we go. That's a good, and that's relevant to the things I've been seeing on Facebook from you. Mark, can you tell us about tying rigs that were in a video?
Tying rigs that were in a video. I'm not too sure what that question's asking.
Okay.
What video was it? Dragonfire.
Well, we'll see if he goes further with that.
I'm not sure about that one.
Palmetto Cats, Lee Reed, I can't wait to try your boards. Yes, I saw that. That was that's something I want to try to do from the bank, and I'd love to be able to do that from even from just the small boat, because space is a smaller boat, space is limited, so it'd be good to have some of those rods that are on the side of the boat.
Exactly.
Being able to put them out further. So that's something that we're going to be trying to do this year. Whack a Cat, thank you for coming in. Palmetto Cat's got some secret dragon weights sent to him for some R&D. They're slick. And Creole Catfishing, for those that didn't see the Fishing with the Chad show, Creole's wife Laura was on there, and it was pretty much a banished Creole from the live stream. And for everybody that knows Fishing with the Chad, that kind, and Mr. Dockery on the bait shop, that was we had half the chat was Team Creole and Free Creole, and the other half was with his wife, and it was a back and forth. So it was a lot of fun. Good job, mods. Thank you all so much again. It's kind of what we were talking about before. I know, Mark, same thing on your channel. I was a mod there pretty much after the first, couple of times going in there, and that is, for people doing lives, that's one less thing to worry about if you've got moderators.
Exactly.
And you can have times where you got to. I would suggest keeping it to a certain, people that are coming in and they're your supporters and they're the ones to take care of things, because there's been Elston he's friendly with everybody, and he had way too many, and then the mods were dumping other people out of there and timing people out. So that's And when you first start out, you just want to be, and you're a mod, and you're a mod.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I waited a little bit to give people the wrench.
It's like, yeah, I got 30 people in here. Boom, 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 boom. You're all mods.
Yep.
But as you get going, and it's funny because you're not really. When we first started, I don't know if that's the same for you. We were so, we had people coming in, like we had 20, 30 people watching the lives and stuff, but it was just the people that we knew from being in chat and things like that.
Right.
So once you start growing a little bit, then all of a sudden the algorithms are picking you up.
Yep.
And you get people coming in from other sources. And of course with that comes trolls and stuff. Then you start getting the thumbs down, and are you having that same thing where you're getting like automatically like thumbs down every single thing you do?
It's been happening more and more. Every video I'll get, like, I think someone is subscribed. Palmetto actually had this issue. I think he still does. He has people that are subscribed, so immediately when you post something, right when they get the notification, they just dislike the video immediately. Because I have people like disliking my video within like a minute or two. Like every time I post it, or my stream, if I schedule it, they'll dislike it. So there's definitely some dedicated haters out there. More power to them, but
Yeah, I can't imagine. I think that it should be, and if somebody's got a legitimate, there is things like if you're doing a video and you're putting out false information or things like that, hey, if somebody doesn't like it, the thumbs down. Go ahead. That's what it's supposed to be there for. But I think the thumbs down should come with a little, like a constructive criticism box, like thumbs down. I tried, and people could have thumbed down me for this tonight. I typed in my question 4 times, and you missed it. Thumbs down. I could totally understand. That would aggravate. Right. I could understand that.
Yeah.
But then you can learn from that thumbs down. So I think if YouTube moved to something like that, You wouldn't have to put a name or anything to it, but just why did you not? But I think most of the thumbs down now are just like you said, the haters that
Yep.
not much else to do. And there we go. Mark, do you have a fish finder or trolling motor on your kayak?
Ooh, I do not have a trolling motor. I do have a fish finder. I have the little arm, like the Scotty transducer arms, to put my transducer in the water because I didn't want to drill into the front of the boat and put a big hole in there. So I have it like hanging off the edge. But yeah, I do have a fish finder. No trolling motor. I do have rod holders also. But the kayak I have, it's not really made for fishing. So I just decked it out as much as I could for what I could.
And Palmetto was talking about the when we were talking about the only thing that came up about the rigs, where you were asking in Facebook about being able to tie rigs, if that was something that they thought there'd be a market for. And that is something that, as you not only for beginners, but people that are there's some people that have issues with tying knots or low dexterity that would want somebody that's been doing it for a while, and they buy the rigs pre-tied.
Yes.
So it's more than just I think that would be even I saw the Santee Drifters guy. He said that he was surprised how many people ordered the pre-tied rigs from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there is a market out there. There is a need for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was kind of the question that
about like the rig tying business.
Yeah.
So I have a buddy back home that ties leaders for like the local area, for Bay Area, Delta, mainly sturgeon leaders. And he's been doing it for probably like, God, maybe 5 or 6 years now. And he's had a lot of success. And he's had a lot of people that, are regulars that come and get from him and stuff. And I'm trying to grow like outside of YouTube also. Like I'm working on a website right now and just kind of like getting into like bigger and I don't know, I wouldn't say better things because YouTube is a lot of fun, but just some bigger things, some bigger projects on the outside. And rig tying was just something that I thought of. So I wanted to get feedback from everybody. There seemed to be a good amount that you can tell like that tie their own rigs. I mean, most of us, I'm sure we all tie our own rigs. But like you said, there is some people out there that maybe can't tie those knots, and or maybe they want to try something new, and maybe they want them pre-tied for them and stuff like that. So I figured I'd get everybody's input from here before I even like dove into that. So I do have a few things that I'm working on with that, but that's potentially something coming up soon. I'll probably sit on it for a little while longer, but I'm gonna keep asking everybody questions about what they think about that.
Awesome. That's that's something that as you get going and there's always those things that start coming up. And
Yep.
But kudos for you. Awesome job, Mark. Lee Reed, if Creel, if you have his link, or if somebody wanted to put Lee Reed's link in there, has the planer boards.
Magic rig.
There you go. You got the name already.
Thanks, Haz. Appreciate that.
Hey, I was saying that one time you should just boom, you get this little bottle and put magic on it.
Yeah.
And, if anybody's watched your lives, I mean, hey, it's only weird if it doesn't work.
Right.
But sometimes it's just that little bit of confidence that makes you stay an extra half hour, or you get that bottle of whatever and say, "Oh, this is going to work."
Right.
And make you'll cast to a different spot that you might not have casted to before, or
exactly.
There's big thank you to all the fishing streamers. Thanks to y'all, I get my fix when I can't go out fishing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Will. And that's exactly how I got started. I started watching them. I wasn't being able to get out, and then I started going with stand 3 a little more and started moving a little more, and totally awesome. There's fishing with the Chad. Have a good night. Again, Chad, that was totally awesome tonight. That was hilarious the way that that show, the bait shop. If you want to go Thursday nights, 8 o'clock, fishing with the Chad and Dockery, James Dockery Fishing. It's on Fishing with the Chad's channel. Just hilarious. We were joking around about Creo, and everybody kind of got in on it, and that show really does get the chat involved with it, because that's pretty much what it's about, is fishing, but it's like you're sitting at the bait shop busting bananas with everybody. So awesome job. Okay, is there any big thanks to all the fish streamers? Have bad hands, or maybe they just, yep. Maybe they just have money to spend. Thank you very much, Palmetto. I totally appreciate that. Yeah,
Man,
I can't.
had like a bunch of trolls today.
Yeah, hey.
I guess you have. I haven't seen any of them, but people.
No, but that's that's when you know you've made it, my friend. When
exactly.
You start
Yeah, that's right.
If you're big enough that you have people come in just to throw hate at you're out there somewhere. So
exactly.
I love it though. I love Has Life with the magic rig.
Magic rig.
You could sell that on Amazon. It could be all over the place. You never know.
Yeah, that's right.
So was there any questions out there that we missed for my friend Mark here, Fishing Magician? Do you have a I know this reach, but we'll ask anyways. I'll ask anyways. What's your favorite fish to catch and ones you like to eat? PB and jellyfish sandwiches. Don't.
Oh man. Favorite fish to catch? It would have to be leopard shark back in San Francisco Bay. They're just so much fun, and they're so powerful, and they taste really good actually as well. Favorite fish to eat? I would have to say probably rockfish, but not the rockfish that's over here, not like striped bass, because the rockfish on the West Coast are like brown rockfish, blue rockfish. Yeah, they're like a cod kind of, and
Yeah.
They're really good. It's really like white flaky meat, and you could put pretty much any taste that you want to it. So I love eating those things. I haven't had them in a long time though.
Well, my favorite, of course, is going to be the big blue catfish here at the Great James River. And fish, I love seafood. I love all of it. My favorite fish, people are gonna be, is a yellow perch.
Oh, those are good.
Yellow perch or a pickerel, chain pickerel. They're
Really?
bony. Yeah, they're bony, but you scale it. You just fillet it straight down the side, cut the ribs out, and what you do is you leave the skin on it, and you just kind of cross cut it. You go down one way and then back the other. So basically, you're cutting all that meat that's on there into cubes.
Yeah.
Any of those little bones are going to be so tiny that as soon as you fry it, bake it, whatever, they disintegrate. So that whole side of a chain pickerel is just nothing but delicious, flaky, white meat.
Wow.
Cross cut it like that. It's the best fish you will ever eat.
I just caught 10 chain pickerel yesterday, actually.
Yeah,
That video's next week. We'll see.
They're amazing. Hey, you get one, let me know. I'll tell you all about it. That's like I said, we used to live right on a lake.
Yeah.
That's my son's favorite too. Stan 3's favorite is
wow.
We lived on a lake, right on a lake in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains. And our dock was like 30 yards from the front door.
Wow.
And cold water, cold springs in it.
Yep.
Had bass, smallmouth bass, pickerel, pike, those type of things. Bluegill, crappie, your typical yellow perch. No walleye.
No walleye. Wow.
No walleye. But all those other kind of just basic freshwater fish.
Yeah.
There was some catfish in it, mostly bullheads and a few channel cats. But man, the yellow perch, yellow perch and chain pickerel, I could eat them all day long, and then crappie and. But yeah, you never. Hey, that's what these shows are for. You get
That's right.
to
You never know.
start talking to people, and you never know what comes out and the things that you can learn on these things. Let's see. Sturgeon is to die for, no bones.
That's
Snake River Catfish Slayer. Snake River, it was you that were saying you caught a bunch of them like a week or so ago, wasn't it? Don't believe it. Yeah, my Costello yellow perch is the best. Yeah, especially if you get some nice, about where it's worth filleting them. You get those about a foot long or so.
Right.
Any plans to go full dark side and get a boat?
Oh man. Yes. In the future, not anytime soon though, just because I'm not going to be here for much longer. I probably only have like a year left.
No, say it's not so.
Only a year left in the DMV, and then wherever my wife gets into med school is where I'm going to be next. So I think I'm just going to wait until she's done with med school and we're kind of like at our final place where she's working before I make an investment like that, because I don't feel like towing it all over the place. My car right now can't even tow a boat. So eventually, yes, I'll make the change, but I'm going to be a bank beater for a while.
Yeah, and you never know where you might end up and stuff. And
Yep.
Is there a boat ramp there? Do you have storage for it? Being prior military, it's hard.
Right.
Till you get to your final whatever. It's you kind of travel light.
Sure, that's for sure.
Zachary Washington, appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
What's up?
What is up? Mike McClements, where's all the merchandise to buy? Now, I've seen you've got some, including the, we're not quite up to that level yet, but we'll be at that 1,000 sub mark sometime. I thought that was totally awesome how you used, I'm glad that they brought that up. You used, and it goes back to some of the other questions before about the raccoons and the whatnot. I love how you tied that in with your whole kind of, as part of your channel right now.
Right. Yeah.
So you've even tied that in with your to join, where you get special different stickers and stuff. You want to say, let people know where they can get the magic merchandise?
Yes. So yeah, the raccoons and the rats, everything that's in the streams is part of the channel. But yeah, the merchandise is actually, I made a post on my community page probably a good week ago. So if you guys want to go check out my channel and then go to the community page and scroll down, you should see the Teespring on there, and you can check that out and purchase some merch or whatever you want. I also have some hats and beanies if you guys are interested. But yeah, just go to my channel and should be right on there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, we all want some of that magic merchandise. My son and I, you see us wearing our Palmetto T-shirts.
Yeah.
Hey, when you get something that works, it's only weird when it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you find you've got that magic, so you never know. That magic shirt will.
Through that.
Let's see.
Bust out another 1,000.
Bust out another 1,000. The boat. So yeah, that's another.
Yeah.
Just trying to get things going with yourself, and that's maybe not another. There's a good one. Ray Dalton. Tell her med school is only allowed on the Potomac, the James, or the Tennessee River systems, so you can still be out there catching your catfish for us.
Oh man, there's actually a med school in Tennessee that she's going to apply to, so that could be somewhere where I end up. We'll see. Hey, yeah, fingers are crossed.
We're crossing our fingers for you, my friend.
Crossed. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, that is a good question. So, you say it's going to be about another year, which, sounds like, oh, it's way off, but before you know it, like it's going to be Christmas time again. And
yeah.
So no saying where you might end up being. There could be no catfish in that area, or there could be, bullheads or channels.
Right.
I'm. Is there plans for the Magician after that? You're gonna keep doing what you've done, like when you transferred from West Coast out to here? Boom, Potomac, big blues. So, is that what we can see in the future?
Absolutely. I would definitely change and adapt to wherever I end up. If I'm in the mountains of Colorado, then I'll be targeting trout and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I am a multi-species angler. I've been doing that for a long time, but catfishing, it's caught on so much for my channel, and it's like the main species out here. So that's really what's helped to grow my channel exponentially, is just being involved in the catfish community and stuff. So, I mean, I would hope that everybody, and I'm sure they would still support if I had to switch, to another species that was my go-to. But I would definitely adapt to wherever I would be, and I would try to find catfish kind of wherever I would be.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Catfish is the number one across the world most. Help me out with my words here. It's
sought after.
Yeah, there's more catfish than any other species of fish.
Plentiful,
Yes, across the entire globe, there's more catfish than any other fish that's out there. So you've got a better chance of finding a catfish, no matter where you go.
Exactly.
It could be a bullhead, could be a channel, could be what do they catch over there in South Africa that Pete Whiskers is catching? The sharp tooth.
Oh yeah.
Catfish over there. We all watched. A bunch of us watched River Monsters and the Gunk. That
all the time.
Just think about that show. Every place he was going, it seemed like he was after. It should have been Catfish River Monsters.
It should have, yeah.
It seemed like every week it was about a different killer catfish that was out there. So
yeah.
Still got 45 people in here watching. Thank you so much. That boat is sweet. She shall be called the Catfish Cadillac. I like it.
Man.
Okay. Mark took his surroundings and atmosphere while fishing around him and made it work. Great thinking. Remember my idea of magic catfish coming out a hat with a wand rod over it?
Yes, I remember Old Villa. I do remember that. I need to write that down somewhere, actually.
And there is the perfect comment. There's big takedowns. That is what, and he's right though. Especially in the catfishing community, we all love, and that's with Elson and those glowing rods and your channel and DMV. We just love to see that. Wow.
Yep. That's
right. We all want that touch my finger moment.
Yep.
And everybody goes crazy over that.
Yes.
Even if you're out there catching trout, you're going to have that ultralight pole.
Yeah, you have to get rod holders for trout. Yeah.
You're catfishing for trout out in the Colorado Rockies.
Yep, there we go.
With the glowing, you'll have to borrow Chunky's cart and bring it out there.
Yep.
Can you imagine the looks you get out there with
my gosh.
Fluorescent rods, trout fishing?
It'd be a hit though. Nobody's ever seen that before, so never know.
This is true. I went to a tech school out in Lowry Air Force Base and just out of Aurora, Colorado, just down from Denver.
Wow. Lucky.
Beautiful.
I bet.
The Rockies are just that's our whole country. There's each area's got their own. Right. We've got the bays and the saltwater and that stuff around here, and the Appalachian Mountains and Florida. Their whole country's got it's just amazing. You go to the different parts of the country, and
yeah,
that was one thing. And even the world. I was in Germany in the service and stuff, so
wow.
It's crazy when you get to go see all the different places. And
yes.
There I was talking again and not reading.
You get off on a tangent sometimes, and then you got to go catch up.
Yeah, and it's probably because I like talking so much.
Yeah.
Sweet doggy on the back. Yes, MindofHarris, the catfish do, especially the bigger blues. You've got the better chance of catching your monster blue in the cold water months.
Absolutely.
You might not catch as many,
Yep.
but biggest ones, you've got your better chance during those months.
Quality.
And that's what do you think is more important? Do you go based on the size that you catch? I would say you go for quality, but you catch numbers too. So
yeah.
What do you like better? Do you
Ooh. In the wintertime, I would definitely prefer quality. In the summertime, it's kind of hard to get away from little fish, just because the bite is so active. So I don't really mind the days in the summer where it's quantity, but I'm usually trying to switch things up the whole day to try to get on something bigger. So if I'm catching a bunch of little fish for 3 hours, I'm like, all right, this is kind of not doing it for me anymore. Maybe I'll move spots or change baits or something to try to like target something bigger.
Did that evolve over time? Like in the beginning, were you like, "This is awesome"? You know, another one.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, just like that.
Yeah, I kind of, like I said, I kind of was the same way. We came down here, and the first time we went out and we caught like fish after fish, and it was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Then you catch that first one, and I think the first one was like, I don't know, 12 pounds or something like that. But like I said, I caught it on like a medium rod with like 10-pound test, and it was like, look at the size of this, crazy.
That's the way it is.
But then you catch that, and you're like, okay, well now I need a 15-pound test. And it just kind of kept going up from there. And having the ability to, every time we go out, to maybe hook into 100-pound fish.
Yeah.
I have to say quality too, because it's like you've got the chance that every time you go out, that could happen. The 50, the 60s, and just seeing your excitement when you've landed, though, like that one when you went over the railing that was falling. That was just like, that was a magic night, because that was just. And you showed that emotion in your live. Yeah. We as audience, we felt like we were climbing over that railing with you. Right. I know, at least I did. I was like,
right.
Don't break it. It's gotta. Yeah. You were just like, you were right there. I mean, it was that's I think why you've got such a big following and people are really loyal to you, is because it comes out it's contagious in your lives and in your videos. It comes out what you're trying to portray comes out. Right. Yeah, awesome. Like I said, that was a magic night when you caught that monster over the railing, and you were just so excited. We all felt that same excitement with you.
Yeah, that was an epic night.
Ricky Gloria, what is a good inexpensive rod and reel that you would recommend?
Ooh, for catfish, you can never go wrong with an ugly stick. Never go wrong with an ugly stick. Pretty inexpensive, and it's going to hold up for pretty much every fish that you hook. Reel-wise, ooh, I would look at like Penn Pursuit, maybe a bigger Penn Pursuit. Those are usually around like the $40, $50 range, I would say.
Ugly stick catfish rod and an Akuma CLX. I have an Akuma CLX.
Yeah,
awesome. They're like that's for a bait cast. Akuma, I've heard. Okay, it comes from here down to here. It's a little. I've been talking for an hour and a half now. The Akumas, whether it's the bait cast or the spin or the bait feeders, I don't think I've came across anybody that's had a bad thing to say about Akuma. Yeah. I have an old Akuma spinning reel. I have an Akuma CLX 450 that I have on a heavy rod right now. I think that's a great, and that Akuma, The CLX is like, I think I got mine for $25 because the package was damaged on Amazon. But I think it's only like $50 reel and
they're not expensive at all. Scuba Avengers too for like spinning reels. Avengers are fine.
The Avenger, yeah. So ugly stick rods, you know, and that we've caught. Stan 3 has caught his biggest was a 57 pounder, and he caught it on an ugly stick. Ugly stick catfish rod.
Yeah.
And I think it was the reel that came with it, even the Shakespeare reel, and he caught a 57 pounder on it.
Wow.
You know, so that's the one thing that's another thing that I love about catfishing is that you don't need. Now, does Muddy River rod that's rated up to 12 ounces or 10 ounces, and the big Cat Fever rods, when you're casting that big half a shad and that 8-ounce weight, does that help? Oh, sure it does. Yeah. Does it make it an easier day for fishing? Sure it does.
Right. Exactly.
Do you need that to go out there and catfish? No.
Nope.
No. So that I hope that helps answer that.
Yes.
I know you said you normally got to get out of here soon, so just let me know whenever you need to get out of here.
For sure.
Mike Costello just said I bought 2 B&M Silvercat rods at Walmart and 2 CLX 302s. There you go. B&M Silvercat rods, I've heard, are awesome.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
You know, you'll see us on our lives on Sundays. Most of our rods are ugly stick, and that's like I said, when you've caught multiple 50s on them already and 40s, and you can't go wrong with it. And I think the casting rod I think is $40. The spinning rod I think is $30.
Yep, super cheap. Can't beat that.
Tune in. Hello all. Thank you all for coming in. Ray Dalton's second best scene was his.
Oh man.
Now, do you find it amazing how much people remember from your lives?
Yes.
Maybe not even didn't catch. Like, is there any that you can think of off the top of your head? Or I know in general, I'm like, people point out things to me that I'm like, I had no idea, but they'll just.
Yeah. People are always like, what snacks? What snacks do you bring? And when people first started doing that, I was like, you guys pay attention to like what snacks I'm eating? And then like, oh, is the raccoon there? Is the rat there? Yeah. We're not jumping over the rail again. Like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, people pay attention. People soak up what you're doing. So it's cool. It's awesome when people do that.
All right, bon pichet, my Creole friend. Creole Catfishing is heading in, work in the morning. Awesome job again on Chad's show tonight. My brother Creole. Y'all check out Creole Catfishing. Get a little slice of Louisiana. He'll show you how it works down there. Ricky Gloria said, "Are they 2-piece rods?" Yes. The ugly stick catfish rods come in both 1 and 2-piece.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can personally attest that I caught in December almost a 50 pounder on the ugly stick spinning rod with a Penn Fierce. That's another good. The Penn Fierces are awesome spinning reels. Smooth, so smooth. But it was almost 50 pounds. I caught that out. I don't know if he's still in here, Skin and Scales. For those, I'm sure a bunch of you saw it. We were out fishing with Skin and Scales on his boat, and it was almost a 50 pounder. And I caught that on the ugly stick catfish rod.
Yep.
And it could have handled up to, there was plenty to spare. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
The other thing I like about ugly stick is that it does have give. So where a lot of people lose their big fish, I don't know if you've had this happen before, is when you're almost landing it. That's the majority of the time you're going to lose your fish is during the landing. Mm-hmm. Well, with that ugly stick having that extra give, when that fish makes that last second turn and run, that rod will help.
Yeah, it's already loaded. Yeah, so
it has the extra play in it. So, it doesn't, you get a heavy rod where it's a stiffer action, and that big 60, 50, whatever pounder turns, snap. because the
right.
rod didn't have anything to give. So,
Mhm.
Ricky, I hope that helped you out with that. Fishing with Sabrina. When is your next live, magician?
Oh, so we have a break in the weather tomorrow. However, it's going to be pretty cold. But I think I'm gonna make the journey out there tomorrow. I need to get some firewood before because everything is wet now. So I'll probably pick up some of that tomorrow and get the ski suit ready, the Ricky Bobby suit, as everybody knows it. And head out tomorrow. Probably we'll see though. If it's real rough, I won't go. But I want to get at least one live stream in this week because the weather, as you know, is not good right now. So we'll see.
Weather here has been. Most of the people out there that are in the chat right now know that Stan 3 and I go live every Sunday morning, and it seems like for the past month, every Sunday has been snow and rain, snow and rain.
Yes.
Some Sundays I went, some Sundays Stan 3 went out in the kayak. So
yep, he was fishing in the snow in the kayak. I saw that.
Yeah, and we went out the weekend before that was the boat. We went out in his boat and it's snowing, and I loved it. That the snow was awesome.
Yeah.
It was once it went from 32 to like 33 or 34 degrees, and that snow that was just kind of like, you're brushing it off you to that ice and rain.
Yeah.
Soaked in.
Yeah.
Oh, that is when it gets just, you can't feel your fingers to. I have a hard time using gloves to reel and things like that, but
yeah, me too. Dexterity.
There's Haslife. Get the buddy heater.
Get the just telling me to get it.
That seems to be what the big, but there again, that there's limitations.
Yeah.
Unless you're DMV and you build that cart where you can carry your apartment out with you. His cart that he built, he can pretty much load his couch in there, his whole he can go live out there by the river for about a week, I think. And but when you're trying to carry everything and backpack and whatnot a mile out into the whatever with a heater and let's see. Cold and rainy day, so I'll keep it short. That was Fishing with Sabrina. Gonna do her first live.
Yep. It's gonna be bad out there.
Yeah, I'm supposed to fish in Saturdays on the Chad's channel, the Blue Cat tournament. Stan 3 is working this weekend, so I was gonna fish with Green Machine Outdoors in his boat. So plan is that we're still gonna do that. So hoping that this weather can just whatever, because I would love to get out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did I miss any questions? Anything else you'd like to bring up? Oh, Villa, where's Stan 3?
Get the glizzy stuff. Oh man.
Was 40. It's good having friends out there in the live, right?
It is. It's great. I need to get some tomorrow, though.
Oh, there's Kevin Wallace brought out another one. The Berkeley Big Game rods are $21.88 at Walmart, and he's caught 40s on them.
Hold up.
The rods are 8'2" and casting a 7-foot 2-piece, or 8-foot 2-piece and 7-foot 2-piece. Yep, for $20. It doesn't take a fortune. I'd say your biggest investment is your line. Yeah. I use Berkeley Big Game line. And I've never had an issue with it. I know that's a real popular line for $7.
Right.
We use 30, 40, and 50-pound test here in the James for main line. Are you a braid or mono? That's another big.
I dabble in both for sure. I was a hardcore just braid because I really liked having the instant connection, especially here. And the spots that I fish sometimes are like super deep. So I need that line to get all the way down there so I'm not like spooled. once I get to the bottom. So I was fishing braid really heavy last year. This year I switched up to mono after losing, I think, like 2 fish from braid snapping off at the beginning of the year. So I just switched to mono, and it's just really hard to fish in deep water. But I've gotten a little more used to it.
Yeah, I'm mono. Stan 3 likes his braid.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm mono more because of bank fishing.
Right.
James River does have a lot of snags. And myself, I have broke off monsters. Even in saltwater, I broke off monsters on braid that I think I would have had my big game.
Yeah.
I would have had it.
Yeah.
I think, especially in saltwater, some of those fish are so quick.
Yes.
That stretch from mono,
Uh-huh.
especially the big game mono, would have given me
Yep.
some extra. But you get that quick bang turn around like that, and your reel can't handle it, and with no stretch from braid. That's just my opinion. Hey,
Right.
Everybody's got their own.
Yeah.
But that again. That goes back to the 2 biggest things when I've talked to everybody that consistently catches fish is time on the water and confidence.
That's right.
You time in the water, you build confidence with whatever works for you. Yep. Whatever works for you is going to be better than what somebody else says because it's working for you, and you'll have more confidence in it. So that's, like I said, in talking with people that are catching 100-pounders, that's what.
Yeah.
that's the 2 big advices they give is time on the water, take some information, learn what you can, and spider wire braid, 30-pound for the win. Yep. And some people swear by it, and other people be like, I won't touch that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy to see what people like and what people don't like.
Let's see. Any other questions or anything out there? I know you got some. I believe you've been working all day. So where do you find the time to go fishing? Like, how do you get this energy? How do you're in the Air Force, you're going to school, you've got your YouTube channel is just boom. I mean, you've gone like 1,000 in months, right? Didn't you go weren't you not too long ago just over 1,000, and then it kind of just.
Yep, I was. And live streams is because of that. And it's really because of everybody that watches. But luckily, the schedule that I have right now, I work 4 days and then I have off 3. So I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I have off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So when I am in school, classes just ended, but they're starting in like another month. I usually do school on my first day off, and then my second day off, I usually get out and go fishing, but that's not until later. So anything else that I need to take care of, YouTube stuff, whatever else I do before I leave. And then I go live until the evening, come back the next day. And then usually Saturday, I either go live again or I go out in the morning, like early morning, and film with my GoPro to make a video. And then I'm usually back here by like the afternoon. And then I try and spend as much time as I can at that point, like with my wife a little bit. And then I'll just do whatever else I need to do. She'll go to work in the evening time, and then I'll just keep doing my thing. It's really like a constant cycle of just grinding.
Well, all I can say is God bless you, my friend. That's why you're so successful right now.
Yes.
It's the time that you're putting in on everything. Keep doing what you're doing. Outdoors Addiction, Stan the Man, and Mark the Fishing Magician. Thanks for coming in, Jesse. Lee Reed said he's starting to use reaction tackle braid, and they like it. Good luck tomorrow from Chunky.
Thank you.
If you manage to go out there.
I need it.
Fishing with Sabrina, what is your favorite bait or lure?
Ooh, favorite bait. Favorite cut bait? If I just want to catch a catfish. Ooh, anywhere, universal bait I can use pretty much anywhere to catch a catfish. Either a night crawler or garlic flavored chicken liver. For like bait for like a casting bait or anything like that, I really love inline spinners because you can catch so many fish on them. And rebels, like the little tiny rebel wee craws and the crick hoppers. I love those things. Love those things.
That is crazy. That is like, yeah, you can catch some monster fish.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I love those things.
And I would totally agree, Sabrina. The night crawler is probably the all-around most underrated, even for bigger catfish.
Yeah.
I hooked when we first came down here. That was one of the reasons why I started jumping up. Was there was a spillway that came down from a canal. Spillway came down and then it went out into the James. So there was, the fish could come in and out during low tide, high tide. And I hooked into a fish that was, I don't even want to fathom a guess because it was a while ago, but it was a monster, donk, epic, goober. Everybody's got their own names for their big fish.
Right.
But it would have been whatever. And it was on just a few night crawlers balled on a hook.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Because it was coming down. And you'll catch fish. I've caught fish everywhere across the country on night crawler. So,
yep.
But yeah, cut bait. As far as like for bigger catfish, the best all around bait is whatever the prevalent bait fish is in that area. If it's panfish like sunfish and whatnot, you'll have more luck on sunfish. If it's shad is probably for most catfish, and shad is across the country more available than others. But a good place to check that out is at your local bait shop. If you go to your local mom and pop bait shops, they need to stay. We need to support them because they're invaluable at times.
Right.
And they're dying out. We've had 2 or 3 close right around here in the last year. So, but if you go in and ask questions, they want you to catch fish because guess what? If you don't catch fish, you're not coming back to buy more bait. You're not going to buy the next hole, and you're not going to buy they want to treat you right. They want you to come back in. So you go check your local mom and pop bait shops, especially just the local ones. They want you to catch fish and come back to them. So
very true.
Let's see. We have any other questions out there? I don't want to keep. Wow, it's been almost 2 hours.
I know, time is flying by.
We just now went down to the low 30s. We've been at 50 to 40s most of the time.
Good. Really good.
So we're gonna. If we have any other questions here, I think someone said they were gonna go live after we get off for even the late night chat.
Yeah, geez.
Mark, the way that this has gone for us is I usually, my whole thing has been I'm gonna do just a short live. That's how I started the first one of these kind of talks, and it was 13 and a half hours later that I got off the. Oh
my gosh.
And so 2 hours is pretty much a short one, really, for what but unbelievable. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. Chat, we can't thank you all enough. The support.
Absolutely.
We're up in the 500s and something already. And I just thought, I thought I'm a guy sitting on my couch a few months ago. And now I've got people watching us. People are walking by and saying, "You're 2 stands fishing."
Yep.
I'm like,
that's the way it happens.
Eric Burnside just come in, and this is actually one of the short ones. I've got things to do tomorrow morning myself. Just got back to work, catching up on bills. Eric Burnside, has been a great live, though. You just wanted to go back and double check. There's been a lot of information in it.
Yes.
One day, start a church camp on the lake and teach the young ones to fish. Ricky Gloria, that's one of the most important missions you can have. Teach a kid to fish. Not only can they feed themselves the rest of their lives, gives them something to strive for, gives them something extra to motivate them to, fishing can be a good, you could probably personally attest to what fishing has done for you in your life. It teaches you patience and,
Yep.
you know, love of nature and respect and yada, yada, yada. So
Very true.
I think it's one of the most important things you can do is, and not only youngsters, adults. I'm sure there's a bunch of us that have friends that have never fished before.
Right.
Bring them out. So if nobody else has any other questions, we're gonna jump on out of here. Thank you all so very, very much for coming in.
Absolutely.
Oh, we got a question pop in before we leave. Any plans on doing a catch and cook?
Yes. Spring and summertime, it's coming.
That is awesome. I'm planning on doing one of those myself.
Yes.
All right. So for both of us from Two Stands Fishing and my guest here, the Fishing Magician, we thank you all so very, very much. That's right, Mastermind. Thank you so much. If y'all could hit that, hey, Pete's Whiskers Fishing Channel. That's Lacquer, my buddy. Lacquer. That's us. Awesome in South African. I really hate to get going. We got all these great people coming back in.
I know. That's always how it happens.
I got some things to do tomorrow morning myself, so we're gonna check on out of here. Lacquer. Again, thank you all so very much for being out there. I can't tell you all what each and every one of you mean to me. I will get better at reading this chat and not missing anything, and y'all won't have to keep typing your same question in there 4 times before I see it. Thank you so very, very much for everybody. Mark, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming in. It was a great night. Thank you for all thank you for what you do. I think you're a great inspiration for people that they want to see a positive stream, positive person to watch. Y'all go watch Fishing Magician. Won't be disappointed.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody.